So I'm here with Markus. He is a natural health guru.
Oh, don't say guru. I hate that word. I'm not a guru. I'm just a guy. Hi.
He's an amazing guy, and Markus is amazing because he does so many different things. I need you to start with the story of where you were naked in the desert and you found yourself.
You would jump to that, wouldn't you? God. Okay, I did everything I possibly should have in life to be a good little boy. I never did drugs. I never smoked. Never touched alcohol. Never even to this day have touched coffee. You know. But by the time I was in my late 20s, I was dying, and I was bleeding when I went to the bathroom. My glass was thicker than my finger. It was bad. I mean, my heart was giving out, and nobody told me it was because it was what I was eating that was killing me. And I had everything that I was supposed to do. I had like the wife, the house, the picket fence, the car, the Hollywood job, you know. I gave it all up. I went out of the desert and said, this obviously isn't working. I've been programmed the wrong crap my whole life. So I just gave up. I just didn't even want to live. So I went out to the desert, took my clothes off, walked. This is a dramatic scene in a movie, just walking naked into the sunset, saying I might never return. And I just didn't want to. I said, unless I know the truth, I don't even want to live. I had my 40 days, and what can I say? I mean, it changed my view of everything. And the truth is so simple. We spend our whole lives going after things. And when you go after something, you push it away. You know, the fancy car, the fancy house, the dream relationship, whatever it is, the money, you don't go after stuff. You have to get to a point where you don't need it anymore, and then it comes to you. It's handed to you on a silver platter. Because if somebody wants you really bad, they come after you, right? And then it's become like a stalker situation. Like, stay away, man. I don't want to mean. But when they say, I don't want you anymore, then suddenly you feel, hey, wait a minute, right?
Okay, Markus, take my microphone.
I don't want to do this. You talk. Oh, shut up.
No, keep talking.
I didn't know this was only a 30-second interview.
When you stop wanting something, then it comes to you, generally speaking. You relinquish the power, you give in. It's about surrendering.
Right. Well, yes. Letting go is a big part of it.
He wants the microphone now.
The point is that you let go and stop wanting or needing anything. And what's going to come to you might not be what you wanted. It's what you need. And it might be something way beyond anything you've ever expected, because you can only want what you know exists. It's just following this, the gut feeling, the natural instinct. I call it the cosmic GPS versus this. This is what's screwing us up. And now I finally get what all these teachings are talking about, the great teachings of the world. Faith, it's that cosmic GPS. It's whispering a little voice that feels right. It's telling you to do something that nobody else has done before, but all the great pioneers throughout history have listened to that voice, and everybody says, you're nuts, you'll lose everything, you'll lose your friends, your money, your respect, and everything. And they say, I don't care, I just want to do what feels right, right? Those are the pioneers of life.
So you seem more enlightened now, but you've just done so many things. Like, what impressed me about Markus is, like, he knows how to paint. Like, you have a lovely video with all I know, and you don't think it's a big deal. It seems like once you master something, you kind of move past it and you move on to the next thing. Is that right?
Yeah, I haven't painted in 15 years. I was the fastest photorealistic painter in the world, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I name it. I've done a lot of things. Okay,
so bring me to the point where you lived in the desert, you survived in the desert, and then you somehow managed to raise $2.5 million. Did you already have movie-making skills, or what was that process exactly like?
I was trying to make movies for a long, long time. I tried to do it. I did the Hollywood route where I pitched people. I had scripts and blah, blah. You know, it didn't go anywhere. It's just a big circle. It's just all a bunch of wannabes fighting against each other. And I gave up. It was only when I gave up that it came to me. The trick is to not need anybody for anything. It's when you don't need something anymore, that's when it comes to you. But where did the money come from? Well, I'm not going to say that, because everybody's situation is going to be different.
Yeah.
I don't want you to copy me. And the minute people start saying, oh, well, they worked for him, I'm going to try that. No. The whole point is everybody's situation is different, and you just have to let your unique thing happen. But the key was I had to get to a point in my head where I didn't need other people's money. And when you get to that point, that's when people come to you and say, hey, you've got some strength. And it could be anything. It could be what you do for a living. It could be your perfect dream partner. It could be your health, anything. You have to get to a point where you're on your own, and you know you're on your own, and you stop waiting for others to come through for you.
First fun question. Who does your hair?
Me.
Do you dye it yourself?
No, I tried sometimes, but it's...
Do you get it done at a salon? Because I like your hair. I do like your hair.
Oh, thanks. Well, I'm a naturally blonde person, and so is Kara. People don't believe us, but we're Nordic. Like when we're in a lot of sun, it gets really blonde, and when we're out of the sun, it gets kind of dark. It doesn't take a lot to make our hair blonde, and we use natural products, so it's not like we're like pouring bleach on our hair or something. Like, it looks cool, you know? I mean, I'm not gonna be boring.
And that's another thing. Who are the designers that you wear? Not that material goods are what matter, but you have a really particular fun rock star style, because you are a rock star.
Yeah. I'm an artist, what can I say? I like the way things look. I like Italian stuff. I like handmade clothes, and I've made my own clothes before. Now I've found people that can do it for me. Everything, my house, everything's art.
So bring me into Markus's life. Like, what is your house like? What are your surroundings like?
Solar powered. It's kind of fun. I have a car radio on the wall that works the sound system. Well, I have a DVD on Walking Through the Home, but it's like a movie set. It's all like foam rocks and.
Don't you have it's like the Oval Office? Isn't your office like the Oval Office?
Yeah, I have a presidential seal that I used in a video. It was kind of funny. Somebody wanted a Skype call with the university to interview me in front of people. And so when they came on, I had like the seal and the flags and the podium with all the microphones. I just wanted to have, it's just a joke, you know, like, okay, we're making a serious interview here. And I just kept it ever since.
Because you're always having fun. Like, you have a ton of cooking tutorials. You've got a mango salsa. You do stuff with Kara. So that's what I wanted to talk about now is Kara. Kara is his soulmate, and he met her at Home Depot within the last year. So tell me everything about Kara. And apparently you drew her before she came into your life magically.
Yeah, my whole life, I kind of had a vision of what I was drawing. I knew exactly what I was attracted to ever since I was a kid. Like, it's almost like it was programmed in me. And I went after people my whole life that had qualities and features like that, but they didn't have everything, and they knew it. They knew what I wanted, and they were kind of frustrated. And you know, it was a lot of lessons in there. It's like you can't make somebody into something that they're not, and it frustrates people. And that's what I think a big reason for a lot of relationship issues is a man wants a woman to dress a certain way, be a certain way, act a certain way, and vice versa too. And that's where the problems start, because people just want to be themselves. Don't ever change anybody. If they're not what you want, don't force them to be something that's, you know, not. And the things that I wanted in a person are just there's so many. As I say, this is never going to happen. This is like La La Land, right? Well, it took me 51 years to finally prepare myself enough for her to, and she was preparing herself. So it might not happen when you're young, but the point is, it is out there and it does happen. And she's got everything on the list that I've ever wanted. And it happened when I was not needing it anymore. When I was going after it, it would never happen because we were too needy. We were too wanting it. You know?
Well, it's desire-based instead of truth-based.
Exactly. And we dress the way we want. We look the way we want. It doesn't mean we're plastic or superficial. We just like it. It looks cool. It's fun. You know, like, I don't want to be boring and bland and dull. You know, life is short. We got to live it up a bit.
I think you guys are meant for each other because you have the same interests. Like, you have the same truth, the same interests. Are you going to write a book about relationships next?
Yeah. And I already kind of have, with the instructions for a new life that talks about all that and preparing. So you got to get ready for it. You can't just hope for somebody else to come along to save your life and make you, you know, care for you and take care of you. You have to be ready and independent on your own, and then they are going to be ready and independent on their own, and you walk side by side. You don't carry the other one, or they don't carry you. And only then, when you don't need anybody, is when they come. Because that's what we really want, is somebody who's able to take care of themselves. Nobody, you don't want to be a babysitter, right? Nobody wants to be a... Anyway, so...
you don't want a dependent, you want an equal.
Right, exactly. And boy, it's amazing. Like, we say things like, secretly, the fantasies we have got the exact same ones. It's so wild. I mean,
well, I'm glad you met the woman of your dreams, and now you have, I mean, are you at exactly where you want to be in terms of, because I think, like I said before, what you want, I think, is always changing and evolving. And once you accomplish one thing, you want a new journey.
The book talks about that. There should be no goal. There should be no, I intend to have this in 2 years, or this income, or this job, or this position. When you let go and you just kind of free yourself up to where you're open to whatever the universe brings you, because it knows more. It can see from up here, you know, more than we can. It's finding peace within yourself, knowing that you're walking in the right direction. That's all you need. That's it. And once you know that everything you say is from your heart, and everything you do and everything you is genuine and real, and you can sleep at night. And once you're open like that, I finally get it. I finally get what all these spiritual teachings talk about, is letting go, to the bigger picture. It guides you in places that are way beyond anything you could have ever created on your own if you forced yourself.
2 final questions. What's your biggest anti-aging tip? And I know that's too simplistic.
That's it. No, that's it. That is the one. It's letting go. It's letting go. Most people age because they're too uptight. Case in point, in my book, Heal Your Face, talks about that. If you don't sleep for 2 or 3 days and you're just totally sleep deprived, you look terrible. You got like wrinkles under your eyes, bags. You look like 20 years older, right? Now you sleep, the wrinkles go away. So you've proven to yourself that wrinkles can go away. The problem is we do the same things every day, eat the same foods, have the same patterns, and that just etches it into us. And that's why we get older. The wrinkles never go away. But what if you stopped the stress in your life? What if you actually got rest? What if you actually started doing what you were supposed to do and felt good about yourself and had your dream relationship, followed everything, and were free to be you? You'd get younger and younger, and you live the way nature intended, of course, because your machine has to run on the right fuel. You saw the picture of me when I was 27. I was dying. I looked like an old professor. I'm 52 this year. So it's amazing because you actually do get younger. You can see the pictures of me through the years. I'm actually getting younger. And Kara, she's 45. She had a 23-year-old son. People say, well, wait till you hit 40. You're going to start gaining weight and your hormones are going to go down. Are you kidding?
Exactly. It's because people put themselves into the mentality of like decay, and then you become decay. You become your thoughts.
Right. And it's also life force. Everything is energy. If you eat dead food, you're going to slowly die. It's that simple. If you bake an apple, you've killed. If you plant an apple in the ground, you get an apple tree. You bake the apple, you've killed it. You plant it in the ground, nothing happens. It's called dead food. So if you eat live food, if you eat dead food, you're going to slowly decay over 40 years. So you die. But if you eat live food, and I don't just mean what you eat with your mouth, I mean with your ears, with your eyes, with your heart, with everything. What you are the result of everything you've heard, tasted, seen. The news, the negativity, people around you will age you. So if you get away from that, I don't need any of that stuff. That's the best anti-aging you can have, is to distance yourself from anything that is draining you of your life force.
What about some of your controversial opinions? Okay, so you believe, this is one thing that I took kind of pause with, is that a woman can control her fertility through her thoughts. To a certain degree, I believe that, but it's bad advice for the general population, because doesn't it require some degree of like meditation and spiritual commitment to make that work?
Well, first of all, there's 2 things. It's called epigenetics is the future. They've proven scientifically, several Nobel Prizes have been won on this, that you can change your DNA, your very genetics, within seconds, just by the way you think. Genetics is just a bunch of switches, zeros and ones. And you can actually change that within seconds just by the way you think. And I can get on a whole thing, other thing. But the point is that nature is more intelligent than we give it credit for. And they found that women who are totally clean, and when I say clean, I don't just mean eating right and having cleansed their body, but having cleansed themselves of negativity, controlling men, they're just free to be themselves and able to listen to themselves and follow that. That A, they don't have periods anymore, because periods is just your body cleansing something, and B, they have, even though they don't have periods, they can still have children, but only if they want to have children. So it's not like you shut it off and you can never have children. No, you can have it when it feels right and when it doesn't. And you actually have full control of your life. There's no exceptions. If it's the truth, it should work for everything. It should also work for birth control.
Your body.
Yeah, because your body's just a reflection of your energy.
But I think that unfortunately, not everyone's capable of that level of a mind-body connection.
Because most people have insecurities. If you have 1% doubt that it's not going to work, guess what? It's not going to work.
You get pregnant.
You have to.
With Marcus's baby.
You have. Oh, don't.
Kara's going to come murder me after this interview. No, I'm joking.
No, we know we are in total absolute harmony with this. If one person is out of sync with this one, there's going to be some issue, an imbalance. You have to be totally jumping off the cliff, holding hands. And most people can't do that. And that's why they're not successful financially. That's why they don't have great relationships. That's why their health is not what it should be. I'm talking about the 1% or less than 1% that are in full control of their life. They don't have to answer to anybody financially. They don't have to answer to anybody for who they are, how they dress, why they think a certain way, and what they do with their body.
So this is my final question. I think it's a perfect place to end. How much of Markus is magic? I think you're pretty magical.
Oh.
I got a hug.